welcome back. And it's the higher plus 5 a day, and it's the 24th of Jan. Let's go with the first question. All right, so it looks like we have a fairly straightforward function question to start. So it gives us a function, and it tells us that if I put a number into that function, I get an answer out. So in other words, I can replace the x with a 7, which tells me that 7a plus 3 over 4 is equal to 6. And I can rearrange that to find a, so multiply both sides by 4, which gives me 7a plus 3 equals 24. Take away 3 is 21, divide by 7, and that tells me that a is going to be equal to 3. Nice straightforward starter question today. Next question, it looks like we've got some Venn diagrams. A PE test has two sections, theory and practical. So let's write those up over here. So I've got my theory and I've got my practical, and let's highlight what I'm doing. So that's my theory, that's my practical. Everyone in the class who took the PE test passed at least one section. So let's just read the rest first. 65 passed theory, 80. Okay, so the important part about everyone passing at least one means there is 0% who passed neither, which means this 80% plus the 65% must go in the circles. The problem is 80 plus 65 is 145, which is in excess of 45. I can't have more than 100%. So that repeated 45% must go in the middle. Now, if I look at the 65% past the theory, which is this bit here, or 65% past the theory, I've already got 45% in the middle, so there's a remaining 20% here. And similarly, 80% past the practical, I've already got 45% in the middle, so therefore there's 35% in this part here. And that's it. Show it on a Venn diagram. I've done that. Question done. Next question. Okay, A, B, C, D is a quadrilateral. AB is 8. It's got that on the diagram. AD is 15. CD is 12. Okay, it has got the angle. So the angles are ADC equals 78, and BAC, so that's this angle here, is equal to 20. Now, slight aside, very careful. It looks a little bit like this isosceles triangle, but nothing whatsoever says that. So don't mark things that it hasn't said in the question. Anyway, what does it want me to do? Calculate the length of AC. So I'm down here looking at this bit here. AC, well, it's in the triangle on the right. I've got two sides, I've got an angle, so this is a cosine rule. So let's just do this all in one. So cosine rule tells me that I square the two sides either side, so 15 squared plus 12 squared. Then I take away 2 times 15 times 12, i.e. 2 times the sides, times by cos of the angle in between them. And if I get my calculator out, I am going to get, type it in, and I'm going to read all the numbers off. So 17.15085, and that will do. So the answer to this question is going to be 17.2 centimetres to 3 sig fig. But I'm going to keep that because I suspect I'm going to need that unrounded answer next. In fact, yes, I do. So I now need the area of triangle ABC. Well, I'm going to use half AB sine C. So that's going to be a half times the sides on the outside, which is going to be 8, times the 17.15085 dot 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 I've just had, times sine of the angle in between, which is 20, and that's going to give me 23, reading it off my calculator again, 23.5 centimetres squared. Now, why is it I just write that answer down there? And actually, let's just write my accuracy, 3 sig fig. Why do I not write the whole thing? Because in this case, I know I'm not going to need that answer again. So therefore, the answer will do 23.5. Question done. Next and final question today. Find the set of values of x for which both and, oh, okay. So I have a double inequality. So the way I need to do this is I need to solve the inequality at the top and then the inequality at the bottom, and then work out which values satisfy both inequalities. So the one at the top is a bit easier. It's a linear inequality. So I'm going to take, no, I'm not. I'm going to add x to both sides and add 2 to both sides. So that's going to give me 10x is less than 20, which means x is less than 2. So that's my first critical value, and I'll come to critical values in a second. This next one you have to be careful with. It's a quadratic inequality. So that's going to be x squared minus x minus 20 is greater than 0, which I can factorise down to x minus 5, x plus 4 is greater than 0, which means my critical values are going to be -4 and 5. Now, the way quadratic inequalities work, my critical values are -4 and 5. I want everything that's positive, so I want everything to the right of 5 and everything to the left of 4. Now, let's bring this all together. So I've got my critical values of -4 in order, 2 and 5. I want all values that are less than but not equal to 2. I want all values that are less than and equal to -4, and I want all values that are greater than or equal to 5. So which values appear in both lines? Well, it's going to be these values here, isn't it? Because it applies here and it applies for this one as well. So the answer to this question is going to be all values less than -4. Good question for today. Ended up with a nice little mix of questions. As I've said a few times in these videos, they start to mix the questions up quite well, aren't they? So well done if you got all that. As ever, do like, subscribe, and I'll see you for tomorrow's video. Thanks all.